America and Israel are beginning to lose track of why they started this war with Iran in the first place.
If I had my choice, what would I like to do? Take the oil. Because it's there for the taking. There's not a thing they can do about it. If it were up to me, I'd take the oil, I'd keep the oil, and would make plenty of money.
Because at the beginning, America's Donald Trump and Israel's Benjamin Netanyahu said that Iran was a threat to the rest of the world. And Iran is a threat to the rest of the world. How? In which way? You see, according to Israel and the United States of America, Iran was secretly building a nuclear weapon and the world needed to stop them.
This terrorist regime can never have a nuclear weapon. I'll say it again. They can never have a nuclear weapon.
So, it was simple. If Iran is building a nuclear weapon, which US and Israel think is a threat to the rest of the world, the aim was simple. Target the nuclear sites in Iran, destroy the entire project, and then ceasefire. End of conversation.
Iran's formerly supreme leader, Ayatollah Khamenei, is dead. This wretched and vile man had the blood of hundreds and even thousands of Americans on his hands and was responsible for the slaughter of countless thousands of innocent people all across many countries.
But as it stands now, looking at the number of attacks and the turnout of events, it looks like both Israel and America are going overboard.
Last night, all over Iran, the voices of the Iranian people could be heard cheering and celebrating in the streets when his death was announced. The entire military command is gone as well, and many of them want to surrender into saving their lives. They want immunity. They're calling by the thousands.
In the early days of June 2025, Israel launched a series of airstrikes on Iran's largest nuclear facility. This destroyed a major and critical part of the nuclear facility in Iran. Later that same month, in June 2025, the Air Force of the United States of America also launched a series of airstrikes which hit 3 major nuclear sites in Iran, which include the Isfahan Nuclear Technology/Research Center. In August 2025, the Center for Strategic and International Studies confirmed that the satellite images which were taken in July 23, 2025 showed that the 3 nuclear sites or facilities which were attacked in June by Israel and America suffered a very extensive damage. It was reported that even by the time the satellite images were taken of the facility, little to no activity was taking place at the site. So what does this mean? It means that if the real intention of America's Donald Trump and Israel's Benjamin Netanyahu was actually to save the world by preventing Iran from building a nuclear weapon, then the airstrikes which occurred in June 2025 achieved that particular aim. This is because after the June 2025 airstrikes, the government of Israel and the government of Iran, including other independent bodies such as the Center for Strategic and International Development, confirmed that yes, indeed, the June 2025 airstrikes which were launched by Israel and America on Iran actually destroyed the 3 major nuclear sites in Iran. So yes, the nuclear sites were destroyed. The aim of Iran building a nuclear weapon was shattered. So why was Israel and America further attacking Iran? Let me make the question clearer. Why is it that presently in 2026, America and Israel are at it again with Iran? Why is it that America and Israel are attacking Iran again unprovoked? Does Israel and America have some ulterior motive behind their recurrent attack on Iran? Why did they strike Iran in the middle of a negotiation, both in 2025 and now in 2026? If the aim or mission was to prevent Iran from building a nuclear weapon, so the target was the nuclear sites in Iran, then what about the multiple civilian residents, the multiple hospitals, the multiple civilian facilities that have been struck in this particular ongoing 2026 US-backed Israel versus Iran conflict? For your information, in June 2025, 3 nuclear facilities, the Isfahan, the Fordo, and the Natanz in Iran, Iran's 3 major nuclear sites, were attacked in airstrikes by Iran and US and destroyed majorly to a point that little to no activity were ongoing over there when satellite images appeared. So evidently, the mission, the intention, or the aim of Iran to build a nuclear weapon was shattered by Israel and Iran, and that was the mission, to prevent Iran from building a nuclear weapon. So therefore, it is very appalling and very baffling to realize that Donald Trump, the present president of the United States of America, took to his Truth Social to celebrate the bombing and destruction of a civilian bridge in Israel. And more shamefully, that particular civilian bridge was even under construction. That bridge was one that linked two major cities in Iran, and it was destroyed in an airstrike by United States of America. And it was very, very baffling to realize that Donald Trump posted a video of that particular destruction of the bridge on Truth Social, celebrating it and then threatening Iran with more attacks. Not forgetting that on 15th March 2025, 175 civilians, mostly school children, were killed in an airstrike launched by US on Iran. According to reports, that particular March 15th attack have been recorded as the deadliest strike in terms of civilian casualties ever recorded in the history of this ongoing war between Israel, United States, and Iran. As of March 27 this particular year, the Washington Post recorded a nearly 1,500 civilian deaths in Iran. And regarding the issue of whether Iran is trying to acquire a nuclear bomb, that particular accusation did not start today. The accusation dates back as far as the 1990s.
Iran will be capable of producing alone, without importing anything, nuclear bombs within 3 to 5 decades.
Ladies and gentlemen, time is running out.
Bomb. Iran is gearing up to produce 25 bombs, atomic bombs a year, 250 bombs in a day.
Israel's Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, since 1992, has been warning the world and claiming that Iran is trying to acquire a nuclear weapon secretly.
We have to understand that we're fighting here. We're fighting here the bad guys. We're the good guys. Look, nobody stopped North Korea, so they now have ballistic missiles and nuclear warheads. But they don't say death to America. Iran is 50 North Koreas.
In many instances, he claimed that the effort of Iran to acquire a nuclear weapon was just a few years, months, and weeks away. However, since 1992 up to 2026, there is no known evidence that Iran has built or is successfully building a nuclear weapon. Look, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said it in 1992.
Iran will be capable of producing alone, without importing anything, nuclear bombs within 3 to 5.
Then, in 1995, he repeated it again.
Ladies and gentlemen, time is running out.
And then, in 2002, he said it.
Iran is gearing up to produce 25 bombs, atomic bombs a year, 250 bombs in a day.
Straightforward, 2009, he said it again.
They're very close. They're 6 months away from being about 90% of having the enriched uranium for an atom.
He continued in 2012 and the years that followed.
Iran is so dangerous. Weeks away from having the fissile material for an entire arsenal of nuclear bombs.
They have the wherewithal, the stored up, preserved knowledge to make a bomb very quickly if they wanted.
If not stopped, Iran could produce a nuclear weapon in a very short time. It could be a year, it could be within a few months.
But guess what? Would you believe me if I told you that even the United Nations, UN's International Atomic Energy Agency, has repeatedly revealed that there is no known evidence that Iran is building a nuclear weapon or trying or attempting to acquire a nuclear weapon. Rafael Mariano Grossi, the Director General of UN's International Atomic Energy Agency, has severally told the world that according to him and according to the evidence and the information they have, there is no known evidence that Iran is attempting to build a nuclear weapon. You see, they are in charge of inspecting nuclear sites, and according to him, even though Iran hasn't given him the full access to their nuclear facility, the parts that they have researched, inspected, shows that Iran is not trying to acquire a nuclear weapon. He has said it is on his X, formerly Twitter account. The first unprovoked attack occurred on the 28th of February 2026, and on 3rd March 2026, Rafael Mariano Grossi, Director General of the International Atomic Energy Agency of the United Nations, came out and then repeated the same thing he has been saying, that there is no evidence that Iran is trying to acquire a nuclear weapon. So why is it that the United States of America and Israel did not listen to the UN and are still going on with these particular attacks on Iran? Also, in 2002, Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, appeared before a United States Congress advocating for an invasion of both Iraq and Iran, saying that, or claiming that, these two countries, Iraq and Iran, are racing to acquire nuclear weapons, which is not good for the rest of the world. So, these two countries needed to be invaded and then stopped from acquiring a nuclear weapon. The United States of America followed suit with the invasion. However, after invading Iraq, they found out that there was no sign, no evidence of nuclear projects in Iraq. And presently, in an interview, President of the United States of America, Donald Trump, said that left unto him, he would have gone to take over the oil in Iran.
If I had my choice, what would I like to do? Take the oil. Because it's there for the taking. There's not a thing they can do about it. Unfortunately, the American people would like to see us come home. If it were up to me, I'd take the oil, I'd keep the oil, and would make plenty of money.
Can you imagine? Was that the purpose for which we started this particular strikes or attacks on Iran? The purpose was to stop Iran from building a nuclear weapon. The nuclear sites in Iran have been destroyed. Then, ceasefire. However, in the middle of a negotiation that will prevent Iran from building a nuclear weapon at any particular point in time, in the middle of this particular negotiation, Iran was attacked by Israel and the United States of America. And presently, Iran is being attacked at places they shouldn't be attacked at. The oil field, the largest in the world, located in Iran, has been attacked. The airstrike was launched by Israel. Even the President of America, Donald Trump, condemned them and then told them never to do that particular kind of attack. However, a second time